The general theme is how does it feel to be a hypocrite?
Right. Well, he sounds like a royal dirtbag.
I was wrong about something.
Magnificent! Magnificent! Magnificent!
If we can be with ourselves, if we can understand ourselves, we can love.
It's not my fault nobody can understand what you're saying.
Let's go while we're young.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, just introduce yourself and tell me what you ate for breakfast.
Am I there? Anyone? Can you hear me yet? All right, here we are. So, one of these great mornings to have technology problems. I guess, it is what it is, right? I need to get out of here, get to a school. Let me try to get this thing back the way it's supposed to be. My computer decided to shut down just all of a sudden right after I hit go. So let's see if we can get this back online. And I think it's there. All right. Trust. You got to trust your equipment. And my trust is misplaced in equipment, I guess. Every morning I start the show by not start the show, but right before the show, I restart everything. Like I make sure everything's updated. The software is updated. The computer is updated literally every morning. And it sometimes fails me. And it's one of those days. So what I'm saying is I don't trust the equipment. I restart it. I check for updates and update everything if it needs it. So we're going to give another t-shirt away. So trust is what we're going to look at. So we looked at misplaced focus, misplaced truth, and today misplaced trust. And let's define that for a minute. And I'm going to read what trust is right from the dictionary from Merriam-Webster. The first thing there is assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something which confidence is placed. So in other words, if we misplace our trust, and what do we say misplaced meant? It meant incorrectly positioned. It didn't mean that it was lost, that it was no longer possessed, but it meant that it was incorrectly positioned. And I got to tell you, there's so many things and so many people that are, and I'm to blame for it too. I'm not saying that I haven't done this in the past and maybe even still do it and I'm not aware of it, but we place our trust in things. Maybe it's media or a particular politician or a particular party of politics. And we just completely put our trust in that. And we then think and say that they can't fail. And that's kind of what the misplaced trust is that we have to understand that people, things like computers or systems, they do fail from time to time. We want to trust them. We want to put things in we want to place that trust in their possession or in items possession. Our cars, we maintain them so that we can trust them. In our houses, we maintain them so they don't leak and so they give us water and all of those things that go along with trusting things. And then, somebody sent me a message yesterday after I said we were going to talk about misplaced trust today, and it was a whole thing on the church. And I'm not going to go into any specifics on it, but that's another very true statement. If we put our trust in a church or the church or whatever you want to call it, and not, Christ himself or the Trinity, and that's my opinion. That's who in fact, I have you've probably heard me say it. I say quite a bit. I don't know who to trust, but I trust in God, and everything else I'll research. Right. And so, but when we place trust in the pastor or the pastors or whatever, or the structure itself, it fails and they fail. And that's a very difficult thing to gain that trust back into where it belongs. And it belongs in, when we're talking about the church, the trust belongs in my opinion, the Trinity. And if we're talking about trusting in things, we have to trust in them up to a certain point, don't we? We have to understand that our computers are going to work. We have to understand that our home is going to work, but we can't neglect it. And I think that's where I want to say that's one of the most powerful things for me is that we sometimes misplace trust and we just let it ride. We just sit back. We don't maintain relationships. We don't hold our pastors accountable. We don't hold our partners accountable. We don't hold our bosses accountable. We're just so worried about some of these things and what it looks like to us. And but those things and people and systems, they do fail. And so we have to understand that our trust needs to be placed in truth and what reality is. And we talked about that yesterday. So I hope that made sense. I need to keep it brief today because I've got to pack this stuff up that I'm using and head to the school. I've got several hours to drive and things. So I'm going to leave that there. I trust that if you have questions, you'll let me know. I'll definitely return your message at some point. Might not be today, but I'll get to it absolutely 100% for sure. I do get quite a few messages that are fake messages. And so if you get lost in the shuffle and I don't reply in a couple of days, make sure that you send me another message. So let's give away a shirt today. Who's it going to be? On this wonderful Wednesday, middle of the week. Not going to rain today here where I'm located. Hopefully it doesn't. All right. Congratulations, Dina. Our winner today. Hey, appreciate the shares, appreciate the likes, the loves, all that fun stuff in the comments. Keep them coming. It is fuel for the fire to keep things going and be here every morning. And make sure you check out the website. Not today. Check it out today, but no new updates today because I'm gone for a long time. But I'll see you tomorrow, Monday morning. Sorry, it's Wednesday. I'll see you Monday morning at 6:30. Lord willing, I'll be sitting right here in this chair again. Have a great rest of the week and weekend.
You know what I just saw?
Who is this guy?
I call myself podcast because of my podcast.
I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
So it's done.
It's done.